Fingers crossed. It says upcoming. Why does it say upcoming? Okay. Does it work now? Yes. Okay. It works. Hi. Okay. And you guys can see my lovely mess behind me. I'm very limited to the amount of space I actually have. So, all right. So now that I've done that, let me share it with my peeps on Facebook. I had to start a new live. The other one had no sound. Okay, next. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, so hopefully that means that you guys can see me. All right, let me wait for a couple of people to come on because I'm having to change over. Okay, so let me see something. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so once I have like 3 or 4 people here and you guys say hi, then I know we're good to go. I just put it on my Facebook group, so hopefully it converts over. Let me see something. I didn't change the title because it's like, why change the title when I can't do anything else. I don't know what else to do. These are instructions for flower kits. I'm selling a lot of the kids kits right now, which is really awesome. And that's what a lot of this is back here, is just a lot of the disassembled kits that I'm working on putting together. Okay. So as soon as I know you guys can hear me and see me, then we're good. Take some of this stuff down. I know. It's driving me crazy. Tape. I have a couple drawers for shipping, a couple different for labels, all that lovely stuff. Okay, so I got 1 thumbs up. Yay! Yay, Landa, you can hear me. Thank you, Landa. Okay. Awesome. All right, so welcome to Shorty Sews NC. My name is Sandra, and I will be your host today. We're going to be making the Pixie in clear. The original size, everything the same way. But yeah. So if you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this as a replay, hi. Then thank you for joining. But I think you guys are here live now. So I used to be Garner Sewing Room, and I've changed the name to Shorty Sews NC because that's really not going to change. I'm always going to be short, and I'm always going to be sewing. And as far as I know, I will always be in North Carolina. So those 3 things I know can at least not change as much. So yeah, hopefully. All right, great. Great. Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm going to be making the Pixie, and this is a pattern by Seems Legit. My friend Tori over in Australia, this is her pattern. So I'm going to be making it out of clear and jelly. So jelly vinyl is also somewhat clear, but I'll show you guys what that looks like here in a second. I'm going to give you my example. Sorry, guys. I need to plug you in because if I don't plug you in, then it's going to go dead, and then we're going to be in trouble. Okay, so here is the bag we're making. Isn't that cute? So this top piece is not included in the pattern. I added this. After making this prototype out of this, I think it turned out really well. One, I want to have 2 zippers so that it's easier. 2, I want to have some type of a tab or something to hold on to. So when I'm unzipping and zipping, I want to have some type of a grip. And then 2, add this. So adding this and adding 2 zippers and zipper tab and then like a hold of some sort. So those are the changes I will be making to the pattern. This was my original first go, and it was a strike strikeout that I did, and I did it through different orientation, and so it turned out different. I think it would have been cuter if it was like a little less long. I think it would have been perfect. And then Tori tried it this way with a smaller version, and it turned out perfect. So this was the original one that I did. I quilted it and everything. And then this guy here is the one we're going to be making today. Okay, so for materials, I will be using, let me put my pattern pieces to the side. Because I'm using a jelly and a clear vinyl, I'm not needing to use any interfacing. I don't have to have any lining fabric. Not doing any of that. Okay, so this is going to be my front piece. This is the clear piece. So that is this piece here. So this front piece here is this piece. And then the top, the back, and the bottom will be this color. The green might be large for one of those mini clover irons. Oh, yeah, if you make it a little small, I think it'd be great. Yeah. I don't know why, but chat's not working over here. Very interesting. I'm seeing it up there, but I'm not seeing it here. There it is. Okay. All right, so this is the version we're going to be making. So as I said, I want to make zipper tabs, and I want to have some type of hold on to the back. So those are the first things I'm going to do, is make those. So I'm going to get some little scrappy pieces of vinyl. So I think these will be really nice to make the little hold on grippies for the side. And I think these are just literally scrap pieces. So this is like 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then these are just long strips that I'm going to be cutting down, but it's 1 inch wide, so it should cover the zipper tape pretty well. So if not that way, at least that way. That'd be perfect. And these are just pieces that I've had in my scrap bin, so I'm really trying to go through and finish up my scrap bins. And please excuse the dishwasher in the background. I thought it was going to be done by the time we started, but I was wrong. Sorry. Okay, so I'm using my Sprinkles pink tape, zipper tape by the yard. I'm going to be using 2 pink zipper pulls, and then I will be using my webbing for the top piece. I dropped the zipper. Drop everything. All right, so now let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do first is make my little tab pieces. So all I'm going to do is fold it in half long ways. It doesn't really matter because it's pretty much a square. So we're doing it hot dog style. Either way, it's going to be hot dog style because it's a square. So I'm taking it from a square into a rectangle. So we do the same thing to this other piece. Just gonna make it easier to get into the side for me to do that. Okay, so that's those two pieces. And okay, so we'll put those to the side, and now we need to put our zipper tabs on. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on that way. I'm going to use a 3.5 stitch length. Just going to line all this up. I'm not cutting my zipper down just yet because the zipper tab is going to give me a little bit more length, and I'm going to have to cut it down. So start with the original pattern dimensions, and then just note you're going to have to cut some of that off. Okay. I was going to try to do the brownie this week, but then decided not to because that's a pattern that I helped with in designing and coming up with pattern pieces, but Tori changed the scale of it because it was really big. So I haven't made the smaller finished version of it yet. So I just wanted to do that before. Okay, so let me see here. Okay. So I'm going to cut it to size now, and then I'll end up cutting some of it away. So I have a little bit extra left over. This was from a box set that I did a while back. This zipper tape and the webbing in this TPU fabric and this pink here. It was like a box that I came up with that had, yeah, I think that would be good. That had all of the cupcake things and all that lovely stuff. Okay, and then I can remove that and then top stitch. Do you guys see what I just did? Did you guys catch it? Thumbs up to anybody who just caught what I did. What's missing? Yep. Zipper pulls. Zipper pulls would be good. I do it all the time. I goof up. It's okay. And I'm gonna have to take the other zipper tab also. Hi Shanova, thank you. I've really been into this whole pink thing lately. I was like, let me just finish the month off making all the pretty and pink things I can. Right? Why not? Okay. I forgot to put my zipper pulls on. It's okay. All in all, hopefully I'll be able to get this done in less than an hour so that I can do the bonus project. It's kind of like an incentive to myself to sit there and say, hey, get this done on time and do it right, and then you get to have a goodie. Kind of like you eat your vegetables so you can have dessert. That kind of situation. Almost there. I really backstitched on that one. Okay, I guess I was afraid it was going to go somewhere. Okay, so let's take those threads off so that I can put my zipper on. Okay, and then crack that one open and then do the other side. Okay. Zipper pulls on. Crisis averted. Which child is that?
The child which you birthed.
I birthed both children.
Exactly.
Can you give me my drink from over there?
Maybe in the frame.
No, baby, it's right there. Thank you. I love this. The Diet Dr. Pepper strawberry and cream.
Ooh, tasty, tasty.
Taste. No.
Fine.
Good night, baby.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
I was afraid not to mind.
What's that?
I was afraid.
You already gave me hugs and kisses,
Okay.
remember?
Okay.
Good night, baby. I love you. I wouldn't mind getting more, but I know that I'm already live and you're ready for bed. He forgot he gave me hugs and kisses already. Good night.
You're waking me up.
I know, sugar. I'll wake you up. Tomorrow is his big swim meet. It's the first day of regionals. He has 2 big events going on, so we're super excited. Okay. So now we have the zipper with the zipper pulls on it. Yay! We won! Yay! Okay. So now that we've done that, on the top part, if you have a directional fabric, the zipper is going to go on this top piece. Okay. So what I'm going to do is actually lay the zipper on top, like I did before. Rather than doing the turning situation, I find that it looks aesthetically nicer. And I had it somewhere. You're probably wondering, what is she looking for? I'm looking for my 8-inch zipper tape. Okay, go on the other side. I have a table here to hold my stuff, but I had to get to the other side. Got little T-Rex arms. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put my double-sided tape close to the edge. And then I like to move my zipper teeth down past where I've already put down tape just so that it doesn't bubble and it lays nice and flat. And go all the way down to the zipper tab. Okay. And then that's going to go perfect. Okay, go like this. Okay. So I'm putting it so that I can turn this down, and this is the top piece that's going down on there. Sometimes I just have to orient stuff for me to be able to see it when I lay it down. And it doesn't help that like most of my nails have broken. It's like this one's been broken really bad, and a couple of them, it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand up for this because it's not gonna be even if I don't. it's gonna need to overhang just by a little bit on each side. If you find your centers, it'd be much easier, obviously. But obviously I like to struggle. There we go. And that's what it's gonna look like. Go ahead and sit down. Take this piece off, move this over. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and just top stitch. I'm gonna do 2 rows of stitching on this just so that it stays nice and flat. I need to get past that little area, that little jump. Pull open my zippers. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the other way and go down. And it's going to look almost like a double stitch. Like a twin needle stitch. I trimmed my tails, and that's what it's gonna look like, so you guys can see. Okay. So I am gonna need to mark my centers of my zipper, but I'm not gonna cut into it. I'm literally just going to make a mark with my silver marking pen. Just because any burning at this point might cause issues. Okay, so let me see here. Okay. All right, so on these 2 side seams is where I want to put my little grabby tabs, and I'm going to do it about a 1/2 inch from the top. Baste it in place. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. I just want to be able to hold on to it when I'm opening and closing my zipper. Which is like right underneath where the zipper tab. There we go. We got those on. I'm going to set this aside for just a second. We are going to need to find our centers of this bottom piece down here as well. This one I can snip into because it is going to be in the seam. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. So this front piece is this piece that I just did. And so this is going to wrap around. So I want to go ahead and put my handle on the top. So if it's directional, for some reason, if it's directional, you just make a note of that. But I don't recommend this fabric be directional because it has to wrap around. So at some point, something is going to be upside down. Okay, so let me mark my centers because I'm going to need to know my centers on these short ends. And jelly vinyl, I don't really think it has a right or wrong side. It feels very similar on both sides and it looks very similar on both sides. So I'm just going to take that as both sides are the same. Okay, So I'm centering it up with my 6-inch mark here because I want to go down 2 inches and then across so that I am like 1.5 inches in from both of them, for both sides. I'm gonna burn my edges. I have a fan going because I'm a little hot. Or else I would do it up on the camera. Okay, so right there. It's about 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So that's too big of a loop. I think that's just about right. There's no real measurement for this, guys, because this is something that I just literally came up with. So I'll give you the measurement here in just a second about what I'm using. Now you can use longer or shorter if you want to on your side, depending if you're going to fold it down or not. I'm not folding mine down. Mine's a pretty thick webbing. And I think that any more folding, and it's just not going to work right. So it's the same size as this piece, the short end. So there you go. If you have the pattern, just match up this to the short end. And you're good. Okay. So now I've done that. So I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches from the edge. And 2 inches down. Yeah, that's not center. Okay, and I'm gonna grab a piece of double-sided tape. This one. Just a little piece just to kind of keep it in place so I don't have to worry about it shifting on me when I sew it. I pretty much had mine already sewn up when I came up with this idea. So, bear with me for just a second. There we go. Right. My lighter going in there is not a good idea because then I'm going to forget where it is. Like, no. Okay. This here and over. This is literally the entire amount of cutting space I have now. Like, anything I have to cut has to be cut. This is my cutting table. So, this is my cutting table and my sewing table and everything. I can do it on this little bit of space. I know you can too. Okay, so now I'm going to go down. I'm just doing 2 horizontal lines, nothing too fancy. So you could probably see it there better than you can on that side. Okay. So on this side, 1.5 inches and 2 inches down. Right there, perfect. Get a little piece of tape. And put that there. When this video comes up for replay, I will have the link for this pattern with this Seems Legit pattern in the description, and then any other information that I have available that could be useful for you guys. And I just like to make sure my stitches look nice because there is no linings. There's no covering these stitches up. If you wanted to, you could put a rivet through there, just to reinforce it if you wanted to. I don't think I'm going to though. I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. A lot of times when I'm making prototypes and making things and changing things, I'll do it one way first and then little by little make a couple of changes, not too many at once, because then if it doesn't turn out right, then I'm like, which one was it that didn't turn out right? This one or that one? So. Okay. Put that there. Okay. So now this is the parts where the pattern itself has these corners rounded. I didn't really like that because it's really hard for me to do this with all those rounded corners. Just putting it out there. It was very difficult for me. So what I'm going to do first is line up the center seam, and I'm putting pretty sides touching because I will be turning this out. And I'm going to just lay this down, okay? And I'll give you guys a little tip. So for me, I am using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So because I'm using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, I am going to I'm just trying to figure out okay. Sorry, my mind went had like a brain freeze right there for a second. Oh, thank you, Patty. Okay, so Patty put the link for the pattern in the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a 1/4 of an inch from the edge on both sides, and I'm going to stop and start sewing at that 1/4 inch. That's going to allow me to do a pivot with my fabric, and it could be a slow, gradual one, so that it does have a slow curve to it, and then I can make it curvy. But this, for me, makes me know exactly when I have to start and stop and when the shift is happening. It's just a personal preference. I find it helps. Let me move that out of the way, so I'm not having to worry about knocking it over. So I made my mark. You guys can probably see it, and I didn't stitch all the way down. I stopped. Okay. So now what I like to do is take this bottom edge and sew it to this edge, and then we'll do the whole sewing around the other sides. Like I said, I find it like if I have to make any shimming or any guesswork and have like how much I have to ease in or anything, I can do that very easily after I've gotten my main points, my main straight lines already sewn. And again, mark a 1/4 of an inch on either side, and we're going to start and stop. Oh, seriously? I just like Joy. I drop everything. Luna Boone is not in bed yet. I find if I put her to bed before I finish with my live, she still hears me in the garage and is like, wait a minute, why am I out here if you're still awake? So it's like, all right, fair enough. Another thing that I have found out, when I've been working with the jelly and the clear vinyl, working with a 100% cotton thread, I have no issues. I have no tension issues whatsoever. I haven't had to change my tension at all. That solved it. So just letting you know in case, you know, you have trouble with your tension. Okay, so now I'm going to pivot it and I'm going to turn it and then I'm going to clip. So I'm going to gradually clip at the straight edges as much as possible. And then if I need to do any easing or anything like that, I can do that around the curves. So I'm just pinching and holding it and kind of getting it through. So right here is where that curve would have been on this piece. No, not that piece. This would have been curved. So that's why I'm like, it doesn't, I don't know. I think if one of the ends was at least straight, it makes it a little easier, but that's why I'm showing you guys the change in the adjustment. Okay, so now that I've done that, you see how it, on that curve, you guys can see that. On that curve, this straight edge here is wanting to pull away from it. That's okay. That's where I'm going to do my easing and work it in there. And you may have to do a couple extra clips. If you have binder clips, that might be more helpful. I don't suggest doing staples on clear vinyl. No staples. Binder clips, yes. You make it behave. You make it do what you want it to do. Lots of clips right there. Really make it do what you want it to do. And then right here, it just lays better. I don't know. I'm just saying. It makes it bigger for me. Like that. And then, boom. Okay. So I'm going to start sewing it like this. Just like that. It's going to be like it's standing up, but it's okay. I promise. I'm going to lay this flat and I'm going to start right at that corner where I had stopped on the other turn so I can make a 90-degree angle. Okay. Now, before I get to that corner, I'm going to stop 1/4 inch again, lift my foot. It's almost like making a mitered corner. Getting everything out of the way. Out the way. Laying it as flat as possible and then sewing again. And that kind of pulled away a little bit, but that's okay. I can trim that down. It lays beautifully everywhere else, so. If that's all I have to take off, good. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and open up my zipper so I can turn it right side out. Okay. And again, take it. Make it pivot, just like that. Clip, 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 clip. back down there. He's wanting to pop out. Up, line it up. And just keep lining it up into that curve. Curve wants to back up a little bit. It's really trying to like resist being nice and flat. There we go. You show it who's the boss. We got a lot of clips. Good. Okay. All right, let's start with this side. It wanted to move on me. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and sew it. Get as close as you can to the pin before taking the clip off, because sometimes it does like to move on you, and this jelly is slick. Slick. It's gonna try to play you, and you're like, no, we don't play no games. Just a tiny bit. I could see it from this side that I missed it, so I'm just going to go in at an angle and grab it. It's just where the zipper catch is a little shy of the seam allowance. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's looking so pretty. It's looking nice. Okay. You guys ready for this? Let's turn it right side out. Come on. There we go. Open the zipper all the way. It helps. Then we can turn it right side out. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and top stitch all the way around, which I'm going to do. I am going to top stitch because I find it does give it more of a polished look, even if it's just around where the zipper is. It doesn't have to go around the entire exterior, just around where the zipper is. It just keeps the zipper down. Really pull out those corners. So there's those little tabs that I wanted. So I still have to do some more squishing. But look how cute that is. It's super cute. I'm loving it. Okay, so this is where I was talking about, like I could do a little bit of a top stitch just to kind of keep that folded down a little bit. So let's do that. And that zipper tab worked out really nice to just give it a stopping point. So the zipper doesn't go all the way to the back, like this one. So it just gets a little bunchy there. And I think we're good on time, right? Oh, we're good on time. Looks like we're gonna have a bonus project. Okay. So let's go ahead and top stitch first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And obviously I'm talking to myself. Okay, so we can open that up. Now I'm just gonna top stitch from where the zipper tab is and go all the way around and stop over there. The rest of the bag doesn't really need to have a top stitch. It's just where the zipper is, because I want the zipper to lay in. If you need to do a little trimming, you can do that. What did I do with it? I thought I had scissors over here. Get these big hunka ones. I am not trimming away the zipper. I'm just trimming away some of the jelly. I'm not cutting into my zipper. It's just to make it lay a little bit better. And continue to push that zipper seam to the left and stitch over it. So the seam is going to the left, so I'm just stitching right over it so it stays away from the zipper teeth. Okay, and then here, a little bit more. Again, just the jelly, not the zipper tape. Like that a little bit. Can't even see it. So you see how already that lays nice and flat. Like it gives the zipper, it gives it like an edge, like a ledge. Hold on to my little tabby piece there. Isn't that cute? I mean, I guess you could use this to kind of hold something in it too. Like a piece of rope through it and then like knots and then have it like stacked. That might be cool. I don't know. Look at that. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Okay, so that one's done. So this is the Clear Pixie by Seems Legit. All I did was not cut the curves for the long piece. So the main piece, the shorter piece, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. So this one here, you see how it has curves? I didn't cut the curves. I just cut it straight. And then this one here, I did cut the curves, but you really don't have to. But if you do, that's okay. But I just cut them straight. Just for me, stopping and starting in and giving myself a little 1/4 of an inch on each side helped me really do the pivots really well. But if you want to do the curves, go for it. I'm not the boss of you, and neither is Tori. Okay, so that's super cute. I love the jelly. It's really just keeping its structure really nicely and light. So this is very, very light. You can see through it, so it's cute. And it goes very well with last week's project that we did. Remember how we did this one as like a bonus? Right? So we did this one as a bonus last week, and so this one? No. This one. Okay, so this is the one we did as a bonus 2 weeks ago. And then this is the one we did as a bonus last week. And you see how I was like, it's all matching together now? It's like I have to use the same fabrics because it just really cute and adorable. And it fits in there really nicely. And this would make an amazing little gift set. Put a couple of bath bombs in there, some lotions, maybe an eye mask or two. Boop. Happy birthday. Happy Easter. Mother's Day is coming up. You know, just do it with maybe with like a not so cute like thing on here. Maybe this could be a different thing. Or it could just be clear. Or it could just be clear because I'm going to show you guys how to put HTV on clear vinyl. Yep, that's the bonus. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my ironing station set up for that. And you guys can kind of like just admire this beauty. Okay, I'm going to put you guys down because I really want you to see what I'm doing down here. And you really don't need to see my face for that part. Okay, so hopefully guys, you guys don't mind. Like this, and I'm going to put you guys down. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so that guy's gonna go there so you guys can see how cute it is. Okay, I'm gonna take my rotating cutting mat and putting it to the side or to the behind me. This is third. Get my pattern pieces out just as a reference. Okay, and then my heat mat. So with my mat, the iron is not on yet. I do not keep my irons on. I have it plugged in, but it's not on. Okay. So now I'm going to put it onto a silk setting. So for your irons, you are going to want to make sure it's hot enough but not too hot. So I'm putting mine to a silk setting because I'd rather have it be a little less temperature and a little bit more time rather than too much temperature and like mess things up. So, okay. So you're going to need your pattern pieces and you're going to need some clear vinyl and you're going to need a cotton cloth of some sort, any kind of cotton fabric or a pressing cloth. That's sometimes they call it a pressing cloth. It's just a fancy name for a piece of cotton fabric. It has to be cotton because it has to resist the heat and it can transfer over the heat without any problems. So that's the only disclaimer on that. Okay, just making sure if we have any comments or anything. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to grab my clear that I have been working with. And because the small piece, this is the front. So this is what I made this out of right here. This is the piece I'm cutting out of the clear. And then you can use the other piece out of a cotton. You can use, but you have to interface it, obviously, because it will not hold up if you don't have any cotton to it. Some jelly, some vinyl, anything that's a fraying raw edge fabric would work as well. So the clear one is going to be from here, okay? So while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and cut out this piece. Now, I'm not going too crazy on the exact size of it right now because I'm going to have to cut it down, and I don't want to, I'll use my rotary mat for that later. Just making sure. Just so that I can get a good clean cut and I'm not having to bumble around with this. And so this is a nice oversized piece. I'm not going to have to worry too much about the center just yet. But I am going to fold it in half so that I can center everything and mark it out. So I fold it in half so I can mark my center. I'm leaving the paper on for a reason. It gives me a better understanding of where everything is. Okay, so now I can see where that center mark is right here for me. You guys can kind of see that. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Or I could just use this orange line right there because it's just a little bit over. Okay, I have my stitch DTF. Okay. And a little piece of tissue paper. So if I wanted to center him up, I could just kind of press it a little bit, not too much, just enough that you can line him up. Okay, I like that placement. I don't need the tissue paper, but I am going to need my pressing cloth. So I am going to have my pressing cloth. Okay, and move my hand out of the way. Everything's out of the way. I forgot to put it on. I forgot there's a little button you have to push. All right, so let's let that heat up. Okay. It's gonna take a few seconds because you want it to come to temperature. All right, I'm starting to feel it now, but I'm gonna give it like another minute. Okay, so while that's heating up, let me tell you what's happening this weekend. So my son has his regional swim meet this weekend. So it's finals for qualifiers, and he is doing the 200 IM tomorrow and then the 500 freestyle tomorrow. Those are the only two events he's doing. He's going to do shorter events on Saturday and Sunday, but those are his two long distance competitions. So what is the weight of the vinyl? I think it's a 14 gauge, but I put it in the link two weeks ago. I'll have to look at that, but I think it's a 14, either 14 or 11 gauge. It's the consistency of, okay, well, my grandmother used to use it to put over her tablecloth, so like the lace doilies and stuff. So this is what she would have used for that. So if you have a grandma or a mom that did that, maybe that'll help. It's not too thin and it's not too thick. It's just right. I get it from Waywack. Okay, so I'm gonna put it, because it's kind of long, I'm gonna put it long ways like this, so that way I don't mistakenly touch the iron on anything else. Okay, and I can kind of still see through where it is. Okay, that's good. All right, so when you're doing this, you're wanting to come down and press down and hold it for a few seconds and then lift. Hold it for a few seconds and then lift. So you're just going to keep repeating that process of down and up, down, pressure, and then back up. You're not wanting to do this, okay? This is why if you have a heat press, it's really good. But if you don't have one, it's okay, because I'm showing you how. Now I do not have, so the silk setting has no steam. So you want to have a dry iron. You do not want steam. And you can kind of feel the heat kind of go through. Okay, I'm gonna do one more little press, and then I'm gonna put this to the side for just a second. Peel this back, okay? And it's kind of bubbling a little bit, but it's not getting out of sorts, that I can tell. Oh. All right, so let's do it from this side. Because from the top, oh no. I transferred the yellow stuff to it. Okay, so it's a cold peel. So you gotta kind of let it peel a little bit. Okay. So the orange from the paper got on my vinyl. So I'm not happy about that. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit for this last press for synthetic. The thicker the vinyl, the better, because then it doesn't crinkle up as much. Final press. It's still nice and hot. Okay, so there it is. You guys can see the orange a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I can maybe get that off with like a wipe or something, because I would hate to have that on my thing. Okay, let's see. All right, I can turn this off because now it's done. So you guys can see I transferred it on to vinyl. I don't think I have any wipes here. Let me go to the kitchen and see if I can get like maybe some soapy water on a thing and see if I can get that orange stuff off. Oh, it's scraping off. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay, I'm just using my nail and scraping it off. It just comes right off. Okay, that's so much better. Phew. Okay. Crisis averted. This one over here is a little thicker, so it's going to take a little longer. Yeah, it's coming off now. It might with a piece of, yeah, you can really like make your own like stuff. Okay, so this guy is done, so I'm gonna move my mat and put my iron over here. Because if I don't, okay, it's off. If I don't, I might burn myself. And that's the last thing I need, because I need to be in tip-top shape for my son tomorrow. For this whole weekend. And Sears going to like open house orientation or something like that at Johnson Wales in Charlotte this weekend. So okay, so I would say like put this down on something and let it kind of like hold it down while it's a little hot, and it'll get straighter, because even with me just doing it with my hand before it got too cold, it got better. So do it like that and then put like a book on it is what I would suggest doing. All right, let me get a napkin, because I'm going to try to get that orange stuff off. something down earlier. This is on the back. Oh yeah, that's coming off much better. Okay, it's coming off. So this is the opposite side of where the DTF is. The DTF is on this side. This side is where the paper was. The paper would have been great to just keep on just when I cut it. I should have taken it away when I did my pressing. But you guys get to learn from it, right? So a little bit of water and then my finger to kind of like scratch it off works really good. Yep, perfect. Okay, so there's that. There's that. All right. That's so super stinking cute. I love it. It turned out so cute. Okay. All right. So now we've done that. Now all you have to do is cut this piece out of the front piece and assemble it the same way we did with this one. So, but that's how you transfer a DTF onto a clear vinyl. I would say this is even on the thinner end, so this is probably more like a 11 rather than a 14 gauge. Maybe even a 9. This is kind of on the thinner side. This is something I would use more for doing the clear ID windows out of. I think a little thicker would be better for doing a pouch, because this one here is definitely thicker than that. So I'll try to research a little bit more and give you guys more options to do the clear vinyl on. But yeah, that's how it works. And you just center it up, line it up, and then cut it out. Now, I would say that when you go to cut the clear, you can use a Sharpie to do the lines, but be careful because I don't think the Sharpie will come off. So let's go ahead and trace it. I want you guys to see what I'm doing. I'm going to trace just along the line, and you're going to cut just inside that line. I don't, a regular pen will not mark. A regular pen will not mark on this clear vinyl. Just holding it down as I move, as I move down, because I don't want it shifting. And the great thing about this is being clear is if for some reason you have a little bit more of a seam allowance or something, you can always just trim it off later. Okay, and there's a Sharpie. Pull this off, and then now you can cut on your line. Okay. And then he's centered because I centered him to this center line, so it works out really well. Yep. Yep. And even when I'm like doing like this, it won't take off the Sharpie. This is so cute, guys. This is gonna be so cute. Look at that. This is so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing this stitch as a pre-recorded video. I'm not gonna show them how to do the DTF on the video because I just did that, but I will be showing you how to assemble it like this, and then make any suggestions on any changes. I think this is pretty much the final product, I think this is going to be perfect. The way it is, I love the little tabs on the thing. Hi, Fisky! Oh, it's okay. We're getting ready to finish here, but you guys can do the rewatch of the live in a little bit because my other video just decided not to work with sound, so I had to come up with a new one. But we did this here as well as a showing you guys how to transfer DTF onto clear vinyl. And then it'll do the same thing on a jelly or anything else like that too as well. And regular vinyl. The thicker the vinyl, the less warping is going to happen. This one's a little bit thinner, so I did do a little bit, but not too bad. But yeah, so this guy here, I'm going to be making the Pixie on a pre-recorded video, just step by step. I'm just making it. So it's probably going to come out next week about maybe Monday or Tuesday because I'll be gone this weekend for my son's swim meet. So yeah, you'll make sure to tune in. Yeah. So this is the guy we made today. Super, super cute. And these are the ones we made last week and the week before. So it's just like stacking inside. This is the one I did as my like pre-live demo kind of thing. And I was like, okay, taking notes. What should it be? What should I do differently when it comes to a jelly? Oh, thank you, Patty. I will be enjoying my weekend. Enjoy my birthday weekend because my birthday's this weekend. We're going to be going to regionals. Fun, fun, fun. And so I really like the little tab on the sides. It really helps me hold it and then zip it. I think that looks really cute. I think it turned out perfect. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, so if this is the first time you've come and seen me sew, welcome. I do my best to try to keep everything in so you guys can see when I make mistakes like this at the very beginning. I forgot to put the zipper pulls on the zipper tape. There you go. No big deal. I fixed it. I showed you how to fix it and I put them on there. I hope you guys enjoyed this live video. I'll also be making it a tutorial style, hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, showing you guys how to make it again with the little stitch guy. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll be sure to answer them. And as always, thank you guys so much for staying with me. And I really enjoyed it. All right, guys, have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.